Hey everyone, so I just finished doing a video on the ATF Pistol Brace Ruling being dead, and during that video I had shot about 10 rounds of this, and man, I enjoyed it so much that, you know what, I want to shoot this thing again, man. This is such a fun gun. This is a 13-inch AR pistol. This is such a fun gun to shoot, man. It is just so light and comfortable. I mean, before I was shooting fairly close here. I'm gonna go out a little bit more. Let's do 75 yards. Again, I'm in a standing position. Let's see how I do just holding like this. So let me turn on the illumination a little bit. Let's go to 100 yards. I mean, you know, this gun is just so comfortable to shoot that even if you're standing trying to hold, like I'm shooting at a target that's like 2 foot tall by 1 foot wide, and just there being like, it being so light and there not being extra weight here, right? Having the extra weight of that barrel, even without a sling to wrap my hand around, this thing is just so comfortable to shoot. But anyway, I'm gonna now attach the video that I did before I just shot this. Hey everyone, I got some good news for you guys. The ATF Pistol Brace Ruling is officially dead, like completely dead, not coming back. The ATF had already lost in court. They had the option to appeal, and what they did is, Trump's Justice Department settled it. They basically conceded the loss. And it's over. The channel that you should watch if you're interested in the details is Four Boxes Diner. It's hosted by Mark Smith, who's a constitutional scholar. There's lots of channels that try to cover it. That dude is, he's a constitutional scholar. He speaks in front of the Federalist Society. Lawyers and judges listen to this guy. That's where you should get your legal information from, right? But if you're just interested in a summary, okay, the pistol brace is dead. It's not going to come back. It will be very difficult. Like, let's say if the next, let's say Democrats win in the future, it will be really hard to bring it back. I mean, they could if they reworded it, right? They could bring it back that way, but there's just been so much precedence already established that it would have an even harder time sticking. Okay, so now that we have won, a couple of things for you guys to just have in the back of your mind. Number one, just because we won at the federal level doesn't necessarily mean that you have won at the state level. There still might be state laws prohibiting this, and this is one of the reasons why I think everybody should have a prepaid legal service that specializes in gun laws. The one that I use is U.S. Lawshield. Okay, it's only $10 a month. Okay, and then with this promo code here, Pocono Shooting, you get, I think, like a month free or something. So it's like $11 a month. You gotta sign up to the website uslawshield.com. You put in the promo code Pocono Shooting. And then what you do is you send an email to these guys, you tell them what state you're from, and they'll actually give you the answer in writing as far as like what's legal in your state. Okay, one of the interesting questions that comes at is like, what if you're like one of those people that went ahead and registered this as an SBR? Okay, so the ruling has been vacated. Okay, so it's as if it never existed. Okay, so if you SBR'd this and you don't want it to be an SBR, right? If you want it to be an AR pistol, because you've got the benefit of, like in my state, this is covered under my carry permit because this is a pistol. I can carry this loaded in my truck, okay? So if you SBR'd it, but you prefer this to be a pistol, all you gotta do is basically discard the ATF papers that say that this is a registered SBR. It's now back to being an AR pistol because of the vacateur judgment or ruling or agreement, whatever they came to. So it's as if the ruling never existed. Now, what if you SBR'd this and for whatever reason you want this to be an SBR, right? Because maybe instead of having this type of instead of having a brace on it, you want to have just a stock, because let's say it's more comfortable to you. Well, one of the things that I would recommend is go to a private range, okay, where once the camera comes off, you can put whatever you want on here, right? This comes off in a second and this goes back on there. But let's say you want it to be an SBR for whatever reason, right? You just like the you just like the sound of it. So now if you SBR'd it and you want it to be an SBR, as far as I can tell, because during that same time period, they were processing other SBR applications, right? If you want it to be an SBR, just hold on to your papers and you got yourself an SBR. So you've got the benefit of it being an SBR or a pistol brace. And as far as I can tell, for state purposes, you can say it's an AR pistol. For federal purposes, you can say it's an SBR or vice versa. Whatever works for you. They've muddied the situation enough, right? They've complicated it enough that I think you can make it whatever you want it to be, whenever you want it to be that thing. I mean, that's just my feeling on that, right? And here's the thing: I'm not the lawyer, okay? So again, that's why that's part of the reason why I threw this at you. So despite what I say, despite what I might do, don't do what I do, because I'm a bad person. Okay, do what these guys tell you, right? Do what the lawyers. Again, $11 a month. Your promo code is Pocono Shooting. If you're in a situation where you're going to be shooting in a public place, where, or if you're in a communist state, right? If you're in a slave state like New York, California, or New Jersey, or Illinois. It probably matters. You probably want to be a little bit more clean. Okay, so figure out what you gotta do in your state, how you gotta, in order to not get yourself in trouble. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to kind of put that out there, make you guys aware of that. Now, I want to go beyond that, and I'm going to say that this pistol brace ruling never had a chance. Okay, legally, it would have. Again, if Hillary had won, if Kamala had won, yes, they would have won in court. But the thing that they never got around to understanding is that this is not what makes this an AR pistol and SBR, right? It's the length of the barrel that matters, not what's back here, right? What's back here doesn't matter so much as what's up here and how long this is. That's the deciding factor, okay? So again, they were focusing on the wrong thing. So as long as barrels of 16 inch barrels less than 16 inches were sold and were continually being sold, it does not make a difference what's back here. If you registered it, if you didn't register it, it just wouldn't make a difference, okay? Especially if you have, private property, or if you have a gun range to go to that just doesn't care, okay? It doesn't make a difference, right? This doesn't matter so much. This is the length of this is the thing that makes a difference. And with the AR pistols, right, it's just so easy to take this thing apart, okay? Because once you take this apart, okay, this is no longer a gun. Now you have gun parts, right? In fact, this is the gun here, right? Okay, and I could just take it off completely off. And also remember, with this, even if I decide to keep this on here, keep the brace on here, the upper that I put on here could be one with a 16-inch barrel. Okay, so I could have a brace here, and I could choose to at some point mount an upper with 16-inch barrel. So this would have still been legal in this configuration. And then this by itself is not a firearm, right? Because there's no serial number on this. You know, this is not a gun until it actually attaches to something with a serial number. So that's why this ruling never had a chance, practically speaking. The thing that the anti-gunners would have had to go after, right? It's a good thing that they never thought of it. They would have had to basically try to stop or prohibit the sale of barrels that are less than 16 inches. Okay, that's the only thing that really mattered. Okay, you know, I mean, the rest of it, you know, you can just ignore whatever the shit comes out of their mouths, because ultimately they were wrong, right? I mean, looking back, we're in a position to say, hey, don't listen to what the government says, because they keep losing in court. They've lost enough times in court that there's no reason to believe that any new rulings, you know, or anything, or any new anti-gun laws that come out, you know, there's no reason to believe that they will actually survive challenges in courts. Okay, so essentially, the rule that has been established is that in order for a gun control law, right, or any gun restrictions and any, you know, limitations on what type of guns you can own, or, you know, how you can carry them, etc., in order for any gun control law to be legal, there has to have been a similar gun control law that existed around the time that the Second Amendment was written. Okay, so that, you know, so any laws that didn't exist at that time are presumably unconstitutional. Okay, you know, and that includes, you know, laws that prohibit, like, you know, that includes the entire NFA, laws that prohibit your right to own a machine gun, etc. If the laws didn't exist at the time when the Second Amendment was written, or around that time, it's presumably unconstitutional. Okay, so I want to share that with you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments below, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, I just realized that I had a magazine here with some ammo in it, and let's shoot this guy out. So this one here is a 13-inch barrel that I put into a Radical Firearms upper. It was originally 7.5 inch. The barrel was 7.5 inch. I have found that 7.5 inch barrels, ARs, are not great. Their accuracy is usually, like, I've never been able to get really better than 4 MOA. I think part of the reason is because if you got a 7.5 inch barrel, remember the cartridge is almost 2 inches long, so the bullet only has like 5 inches of travel. Okay, so with the 13-inch here, you know, the bullet has almost like 11 inches of travel. So I wouldn't want to go. I don't think you should go less than 10.5. 10.5, you know, you can still get like 1 MOA with good ammunition. Okay. Other important thing I got down here, I got the Core Valley linear comp. So that's a linear compensator. It's really effective in sending more of the blast downrange. And the other thing is you want your gas system tuned so that you're ejecting at like almost 4 o'clock. Okay, because what that does is it basically, if you don't want port pop. Okay, so if you are overgassed and the bolt starts moving back a little bit faster, you're going to have more noise coming out of the ejection port. Okay, so if you're overgassed at 2 o'clock, yeah, the gun might be a little bit more reliable, right, on if it gets dirty and stuff like that. But that also means that the bolt carrier is opening up a little bit faster. More noise is coming out of the port. So by tuning this so that it's ejecting like at 4 o'clock, it actually quiets the gun down considerably, because there's less noise. There's less noise coming out of the ejection port. All the noise is going out the front of the barrel, and then the linear comp in the front also helps with that as far as directing the noise downrange. Okay, so this I've done a separate video on this. I think I should probably do another video with specifically on this gun very soon, because this is a gun I've really come to like. Okay, so yeah, really 13-inch. It's really nice. You know, it's very handy. You can move around with this. Very comfortable gun to shoot. Also, I train women on this. Women love shooting this gun because it's not front heavy. So these guns are excellent for women. And then with the noise management of the linear comp, and you know, the gun being tuned so the bolt is a little bit slower to open up, so there's less port pop. They really love shooting this gun. Okay, so let's fire this gun. So I turned the gun that way so you guys can see the ejection, and it was somewhere around 4 o'clock. But yeah, this is an excellent gun. Love this gun. Nice and light. I have an 11.5 inch. With the 11.5 inch on that one, I've actually loaded it up. Like, I got a light on it, bipod. So that's you know. So what I did is I got one gun that's a little bit heavier because of all the lights and bipods that's mounted on it. Also, I have a larger linear comp, which makes it even quieter. So that one is a little bit heavier, but it's 11.5 inches, so it's still manageable. So this one, 13 inches, I decided to go light on this, no light, you know, a very small light linear comp. You know, I don't keep a bipod on this, but I could attach one to here. So, fun gun, man. I love this gun. Okay. So anyway, drop some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to you soon.